Hi folks, Taco Bonsai episode 22, Deuce Deuce. This is kind of a surprise episode. I didn't expect to be doing this now, but I'll just show you what I'm working with and you'll see why I felt the need to do this sooner than later. I already introduced this one right here, and this one as well. Doing great, whatever it is. Very white, which is surprising. Roots coming out the bottom, so this will probably need its own pot eventually, but it's just a little flower, so not worried about that. That is not the issue I'm having. In fact, that one's gonna go off to the side here. The issue I'm having is with this guy right here. And you can probably see there were roots coming out on the other side. Now there's roots coming out here. Oh wait, what is that? They're all coming out the bottom too. So the one thing I know about bonsai is you do not want that hole clogged. I'm gonna repot this into the same pot, but this thing, yeah, it needs some trimming. So first things first, I'm gonna see if I can't, give it a little tap, get it out. Nope, it does not want to let go. So come in here with a little scrape. It doesn't have much of a lip on it, but oh man, yeah, it is ready. So all I'm doing, I'm not even sliding. I'm just pushing it in a couple places to see what we're working with here. You can see it's already released. Ooh. Well, I want that bottom root. So this one, it's not the worst, but these roots aren't growing the way they should. So what I'm gonna do, this is, let's talk about that bonsai mix. It's just really sandy. This is what I'm looking at. Like, look at how fine these particles are. They work, especially for this purpose. Kind of as a little mame tray for roots to grow into to help the plant keep growing. But that was just too many roots coming out of that for me to feel comfortable. So we're gonna come at this with, I don't know if I call it vengeance, but we're gonna just see what we're working with here. Trim some roots back. Maybe work on potting angle, if not, oh geez, it's dense. If not the height, but we'll see. Yeah, very dense root base. And this will be quick, of course. I mean, unless it really gives me trouble, which I doubt it will. It's kind of funky, but it's so small. I mean, how's it gonna give me trouble? Famous last words. Also, if anybody has any recommendations for types of music you'd like to hear in the background, or while I'm doing things that don't exactly sound fun, just things to fill in that empty silence, just let me know. I don't mind playing real soft, like like lo-fi. I think Blue Jay Bonsai does a lot of lo-fi. He's got good taste in music, that guy. All right, so we're already getting somewhere. This thing's just, it's so packed in here. Look at all this, look at all this. What was I gonna do with that? Let's see. Oh, I was using the wrong side. No wonder it's so difficult. This is easier. All right, already I can tell some stuff here that may not be ideal. Depending on how bad it really is, I might correct it now. Oh man, yeah, I think I've got high roots is my thing. I think the actual flare on this comes down a lot lower. Oh, then there was this. There's definitely one big root here, spiraling around. I don't know if you can see it, but this is just one big root. Like I can, there. So that's something I'll have to figure out if it's worth keeping, if it's good root or not. It's nice and flat. This is, again, it's a semi-developed pre-bonsai for me hands. You can tell the top has a lot of good growth. You can tell which ones are new. I mean, this is all pretty good. This is a Burt-davyi, African ficus. So they're strong growers, I'm sure. Kind of hard to mess it up. This one's in a good spot to grow well. under a grow light, lots of humidity, and having the ability to pull itself down to that tray, get some extra moisture, and give me a little extra hint whether or not I need moisture. That's one thing that's cool about that. I can't remember his name, but Bonsify. Eric? Yeah, Eric. He's saying like how to get your mommies to grow. His little trick was to put them in a tray like that, and sink the pot in. And it's great for so many reasons, especially when like the akadama there is definitely just crushed up. All right, so looking at it, that's about my trunk. So pretty good. I do have some that are growing straight down. I'll come after those. Use a different tool for this. You guys probably noticed these aren't the sharpest scissors, but you know what? Brute force and ignorance. That's how everything should be done, right? All right, so that's one less root to deal with. Unless I have roots like this, they're just, come on. Nobody needs that. Let's get two. Oh, holding it too high again. All right, so I'm just trimming off these roots that are, you know, toting around. Like this guy. What am I gonna do with that? That's too high again. Sorry, everyone. Keep forgetting myself. I think I should just tilt this up a teeny tiny bit. Make it easier on everybody. All right. Ooh. Where's my scissors have sunk a little bit. So that's some of my root work just right there. There's a piece of fertilizer in there. I think some of this is just kind of funkiness, you know? Fairly certain I did not want that there. I do need to do a little more investigating on this. Let's cut off this little nub here. This guy, cut it off. Yeah, things that are pointed up aren't doing anything for me or anyone else. They don't look that good. I'm finding roots, a lot of twisted roots in here, which I do not want. You know? But a beautiful root base, I mean, that's great. All right, coming back down around to the bottom. Now, this one here is growing. This one right here is growing straight down, so I'm gonna take that back to where I think it started. Yeah. It's a good time. Oh, there's another thick one right here. The question is, where is that? That comes from over here. Jeez, that's a hard one to follow. Yeah, there we go. That one's gone. See? So already I've got a better root base. Here's another long one. Needs to be cut back short. I haven't even finished bare rooting this, and I've already found so many that need to be cut off. I'm just kind of doing a once around. Ooh, sorry, I was fixing my fingers in the shears there. All right, just about at the point where, I don't know, getting all the roots off that I need to get off that are down low. It's what's up high that makes me nervous. Like this right here is funny, especially the stuff in here. Like, what is this, huh? I don't know what that is. It's not useful. I can hardly see it. You know, I got the root that comes like this and this guy. I can promise you those won't do anybody any good. Not growing that way. I think I'm gonna leave this. I need to take off some of these higher roots over here, especially because they're not radial. They're just kind of going wherever. I think that's going to give me, yeah, it gives me a much better flare. So now I can't decide. I'm going to plant it like this. Let me get it. Where's my camera? Over here. Okay. I think I'm going to plant it like this. I can't decide if this, you know, is doing what I need it to do. I know this is. This one's a little bit off kilter, so that's going to come off right here. Yeah. This one, no, these have got to go. They're just not radial, and they're so high. Since my root base is going to be much lower now, it's going to be here. These are just kind of high roots. Yeah, they are very high. All right, well, I think it's time I get a little bit aggressive on this. I'm going to there we go. Some more, so quite aggressive, but I think it's the right way to go. I can see here, I don't think I just did that. I think that's from before. A little, oh, it's already detached. A little snip on that, because again, I think it's just too high. All right, we're getting there. Again, I love this kind of wild flare here. I don't mind leaving some of these stubs on to allow us to, kind of have some funny stuff. Exactly what I was afraid of. That's right where everything kind of ends. All right. So rather than cutting off that big root, I've decided to kind of go with it, and I'm going to. Yes, I know I'm getting close to the point where I don't want to be doing this anymore. I'm too mouthy. All right. So, not sure how successful I'll be in using this big root, but honestly, I think it's a cool looking little feature. I'm playing with a nice little angle like this, you know, it'll be good. So I am going to take out what's in here. I'm going to reuse this screen, because why not? So again, pretty cute little bowl, container, whatever you want to call it. All right, I'm gonna, great job, right? This isn't a tripod even, this is a retail stand. Put some of this in here just to make sure I don't lose anything. I do want to get that out of there. Mount it up slightly. I want to plant it slightly offset. I think right about here is where I want it to be. Now, it's probably tough for you guys to see, but I can see it just fine. So good riddance. No, I'm just trying to get this where it needs to be as far as position. Make sure the camera can see it all. All right, got it really heaped up. I'm gonna go in with a teeny tiny tool to get in between all this, because those are teeny tiny roots. I didn't rinse the roots. The reason why is there wasn't any like bad stuff attached to it. I got most of that soil off there, and I don't think the soil was the issue. I think this plant just grew so vigorously, it decided it didn't want to be in this pot contained. So here we go. And could I have done a better job on sorting those roots? Absolutely. But this is the first repot for me. Sorry, I was in the view of the camera there. This is the first repot for me with this tree. It does have plenty of vigor. It's not a bad time to repot it. But some of those roots will die off. They won't make it. Some of them will be very vigorous. And in the meantime, at least I don't have them spiraling around the pot. So I didn't take off a lot of roots, but all these didn't need to be there, you know? Not that you can see very well. Okay, I got in between all the little teeny tiny roots. I'm gonna do a real quick pass with this. and try to come from the very side and really, you know, sort stuff in. I do have that one big root that's kind of an obstacle, but we're not doing too bad. Yeah. All right, so this is a lot easier to fill than I thought. Usually it's a little more tough, but when you have, of course it's focused on the leaves, this kind of, you know, mound that's really easy to press in. It's nice and flat in the bottom. Thank you for that. Me hands, all you folks, you did a good job of making sure this is an easy repot for me for so many reasons. Yeah, I mean, this is super easy. I can't complain. I have to figure out where all my stuff is. So I don't need all this on top here. I'm gonna put some of it back in. I probably filled it too high. I don't want to grow roots up high. I'm probably at a point where in the development of this tree, it's time to get a little more, you know, shoulder room here. Now let's check my planting angle. I might have planted this the wrong angle. Oh, I absolutely did. That's my big, all right, see, that's why. This is why I double checked myself. It's good in this case in particular. I was planning on exposing this a little bit more because that means I can just work it a little bit better. Big piece of granular stuff there. All right, you can't see much of what I'm doing, but what I've done is I'm pressing down and tilting to try to work all this bonsai particularly in. See if you can see there. So this is my root right here. Just pressing in from this side, trying to get all under there. Fill in so that way I'm not, you know, as uneven as I was. It does want to lift up for some reason, which I'm not really happy about, but I suspect that once I've got water in here, that won't be as big an issue. So that is another one repotted. We'll see how it does. I mean, again, plenty of vigor, cool little tree. I didn't quite get the angle I wanted out of it, but I can work on that some more later. So as long as it's potted and it's, well, it's not terribly firm in there, but I'm not sure how much more firm I can get it with how few roots it's got and how big the mix I'm using is. And that's that big root right there. So maybe I did want to put that more like this. Tilt it down a little bit more. As long as I've got this in front of the camera, I might as well do it, right? Yeah. Well, that's a little better. All right, so I'm gonna put this back in its tray, just like this. Put the, whatever this thing is, in there as well. So those are ready to go back up on top of the cabinet in the bathroom under the grow lights. I'll give them some water and they will grow a lot more soon. Thanks for joining me for episode 22, Deuce Deuce, of Taco Bonsai. Comment, like, and subscribe. And you know what? Let's do a little game. Leave a comment with your favorite color bonsai pot. Now it can be the one you use the most. But yeah, comment, tell me what your favorite color bonsai pot is. I see a lot of people using ones like this. I honestly love red pots. I don't know what it is, but I've been drawn to this red pot I got with pomegranate. So yeah, tell me your favorite. I would love to have more red pots. I don't have very many, but yeah, that's the one that's my favorite, even though it's not my most common. So hope you have a great weekend. You might even be viewing this on Monday, depending on when I post this one. But I appreciate you watching and giving me your attention. Cheers.